So 2 equals 1. Looking at equality sign, 2 equals 1. There is no way that 2 will equals 1. Now, our equal sign, equals to sign, I always say it as a 2 function. It may be more than that in your view, but basically it has what? 2 functions. And what is the first function? The first function is when something equals what? Something. That the amount of something is the amount of another thing. For example, we have 1 equals 1. So now this is what? True. 1 equals 1. We all know that 1 is equals to 1. So now let me use a more specific example. For example, if you and your brother or you and your sibling is asked to share 200 equally, 200 naira, let's use 200 naira equally, how would you share this equally? Is by you taking 100 and your brother was taking 100. So this is what? Equals. So this is our first function for our what? Equal sign in our normal day life. But second function is during the what? The algebra equation. You are having an algebra equation. Now what do I mean by an algebra expression or an algebra what? Equation? Now we are still on equals to, just don't forget that. So what do I mean by algebraic expression and algebraic what? Equation? First is that algebraic expression doesn't have an equals to sign. So we have 2x plus 3. So we can call this what? An algebraic expression, because it carries no what? Equals to sign. Now an equation, looking at the word equation, you have equi, which is gotten from what? It's gotten from equal. So it's gotten from what? Equi is gotten from equal. So equation, so you should always know that this is when an expression has an equals to sign. For example, we have the same 2x plus 3 equals to 1. And now this is our second function of our equals to sign. Now looking at this, let's take away this. So I said something about the equals to sign, that it has 2 functions. The first function is from our normal day life, and second function is from what? Our algebra. Now looking at this in a normal human being way, you cannot say that this is equals to this. Doesn't make sense. Actually it doesn't make sense, but mathematically it makes sense, because mathematically this is equals to this. So that is why I said, since it doesn't make sense, because since it doesn't make sense in our normal day life, that's what makes up what? The second function of the equals to sign. But the second function still leads us back to our what? To our first function, and I will explain that further on in the class. So let me just write this equation here so I don't forget about this equation. Now let's work on what? Calculation of expression. Calculation of what? Algebraic expression. Now let's take example. take our first example. So I've explained this earlier. 2x plus 1. First thing we have to consider is that are they of the same what variable, or are they of the same family? So 2 carries x and 1 carries nothing, doesn't have an x, so we can't add this up. So our answer will give us what? 2x plus 1, since we can't add them together. Now looking at this other one, we have 3x plus 4x. Now what would this give us? Firstly, we have the same what family, so we could add them together to give us what? 7x. So we could add these together to give us what? 7x. Now this is all what algebra is about. So let me just take another little bit tricky question. When you have multiplication of signs, for example, we have 3x plus open bracket minus 2. So okay, minus 2x. This is minus 2x, for example. Now how do we do this? Now how do we do this expression? What we would have is we have to open up the bracket by multiplying this sign by this sign. So multiply these two signs. So earlier on I explained how signs are being multiplied. So plus times minus, two opposite signs, which gives us what? Minus. So we have 3x minus what? Minus what? Then we have our 2x. So 3x minus 2x gives us x, or you could say 1x. So that is all I have to explain on calculation of algebraic expression. So let's move to algebraic equation. So we have so looking at algebraic equation, first we understand that the first thing that comes to our mind is that an expression with what equals to sign. So I cleaned the equation is, I still remember. So we have 2x plus 3 equals 1. So this is our example 1. So we have 2x plus 3 equals what? 1. So now looking at this, the first thing we have to do to solve this is what we use collect like them. We do what? We collect like them. And what do we mean by like them? We take a particular numbers that look alike to one side of the equation of the equals to sign, and other ones that look alike to the other side of the equation. Now 2x has no one that looks like it. 3 doesn't have an x, 1 doesn't have an x, but 3 and 1 are the same. So all we need to do is move this 3 to this part here. So we have 2x equals, now when we carry a particular number across the equals to sign, or a variable across the equals to sign, our sign has to change. Now this 3 here is the owner of this what? Of this positive sign. The 3 is the owner of this positive sign, showing that our 3 is a positive what? Number. So moving it to the other side is to change to what? A negative number, giving us what? 1 minus what? 3. Then 1 minus 3 is what? Minus 2. And then we have 2x here. Now basically what we are doing in algebraic equation is to make sure that we make x subject of the formula.